Cardinal Sarah has been talking about all the problems and all this and that. Well, now here's a solution, okay? Prayer is the greatest need of the contemporary world. It remains the tool with which to reform the world. In an age that no longer prays, time is, so to speak, abolished, and life turns into a rat race. This is why prayer gives man the measure of himself and of the invisible world. Boy, he hits it right there. I mean, even for me, like, all the time, you get caught up in what's going on in the world. You're scrambling around. You're caught up in that rat race. And that's why, I'm starting to go to adoration more. It slows down, and it's a way of telling yourself, relax. God is in charge, not you. Boy, he hit it right. He hit the nail on the head with the rat race line. At least for me, that line really speaks to me.
Yeah, and also, when you think about prayer, it was a phrase that I would always hear when I was a kid. When I was, not so much a kid, older. Union of prayer.
Yeah.
As I get older, and so many more people I know are no longer on this earth plane.
Yeah.
It begins to mean more and more to me. All Saints' Day and All Souls' Day in particular become more and more filled with meaning as so many people I know join the armies of the dead. And prayer is the only thing that can bring them any solace if they're in purgatory. Obviously, if they're saints, they don't need it. If they're in hell, nothing's going to do them any good. But if they're in purgatory, it's the only thing that'll bring them solace. Best thing that one can do for them. But then you branch out from that. What is the best thing you can do for anybody, living or dead? Just pray for them. This is for them. Your rosaries, your visits to the Blessed Sacrament. Because I'm gonna mess this up. Also, can't help the joke into it. But years ago, there was a film by, for, and of boomers called The Big Chill. And I'm certainly not going to recommend it. But what I'm going to say is that its tagline was it fascinated me then. And again, specifically thinking of prayer these days, it hits me even more. And it was the tagline, in a cold world, you need your friends to keep you warm. And
interesting.
It is, if you take it out of whatever its actual context was, it is a cold world. It's cold, it's hostile, it's nasty. The powerful rule it to their own ends in church and state. But through prayer, we can be in touch with God Himself, the saints, and our Mother, but also in connection with everyone we love horizontally. You see?
Yeah.
And it's a reason why the monasteries were places of refuge as well as prayer, of prayer as well as refuge. And we all need a certain amount of refuge,
Yeah.
It's a terrible combat, and this is always the case on one level. The spiritual combat is the phrase they give to regular human life, anyway. But then you add the specific historical circumstances we're in, and it means even more. But all we can do is keep praying, keep smiling, and as the 1932 classic has it, Mr. Herbert Hoover says, now's the time to buy, so let's have another cup of coffee and let's have another piece of pie.
I like that one.
Have you heard that before?
I heard that on Mad Men.
It's a great song.